Afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone can hear me. This is Gregory Smith with T-Systems. I am presenting today at the Cloud Slam 2010 conference, and I want to talk a little bit about operations in the enterprise cloud, fully automated provisioning and operations. So, as I said, my name is Gregory Smith. I am responsible for all technical solution design for our delivery organization in North America. And I'm also the person responsible for launching our dynamic services enterprise cloud offering here in the U.S. a few years back that we've been doing. So with that said, let's move right along and talk about some of these fun things. So T-Systems, just to give you a little background of where we're coming from a services standpoint and sort of, so you give a perspective about what, on what we're doing. So T-Systems is part of the Deutsche Telekom group. Which consists of four, major areas of business. One is T-Home, which is primarily a Germany-based landline DSL provider. That brand is moving out a little bit into other countries, usually via the T-Mobile brand. So, things like using your cell phone in your home and these sorts of services. T-Mobile, which I'm sure you all know is our wireless global carrier. We have the Deutsche Telekom business customers, which is really more of a generally European-based mid-sized customer space, and then T-Systems, which is our business-to-business ICT for information communication technology provider. So we are a fusion, convergence play between telecommunications and IT services. So this is a cloud conference, so let's sort of, take a look at sort of how T-Systems views the cloud. So, from our standpoint, we are, providing IT infrastructure, which is applications and services up and down the stack. So that's anywhere from, WAN, telecommunication services, MPLS, services up through, LAN, infrastructure, servers, storage, and so forth, application and middleware, into system integration services, and pretty much all the way through the stack, into BPO services. So we have a whole back-end delivery of services across IT and telecommunications, but of course those services need to go out to people. People need to consume applications and business processes and data. So the second step for us is really having an application-oriented network, which is, could be anywhere from private cloud services. So we're really connected directly into other people's back-end IT to more public internet accessible services. And then, of course, delivering those out to, devices, workplaces, could be workstations, laptops, mobile devices, could be a, BlackBerry through T-Mobile, essentially pushing applications and IT and data through networks into and to devices. So for us, that entire chain is what we call real ICT, right? And for us, it's providing SLAs all the way through that entire network, and we're uniquely positioned to do that because we actually own and provide all of those links from a global perspective. So that's sort of our view of the cloud, and then as an IT provider and application services provider, this is what we're pushing out, and it's really what we're calling real ICT, as I mentioned before. So with that as a background, so we're a global IT provider. We're about number 6 globally. We're number 1 in Germany, about number 2, I think, in Europe. We're also one of the largest telecommunications providers. So we really have data centers. We have global coverage, and we have all this great infrastructure, telco, the whole 9 yards. And we have a very large business and have that for quite a long time. Now, about 7 or 8 years ago now, we really had a number of key customers come to us and, sort of demand, a better way of consuming IT other than sort of typical CapEx play. Now, I think, most of you probably can remember back when sort of utility computing, consisted largely and still to a certain extent does today, financial models, there's capacity on demand, if you remember that, right? So you buy a server with a bunch of CPUs in it and you can switch them on as you go over time. But, ultimately all of these were essentially financial models around capital expenditure, largely with dedicated gear for the most part. So we had some conversations with some of our large customers. Many of these were large SAP enterprise customers, and we really sat down and had a long discussion about how we can design services and deliver services to them